important program today, and I'm hoping that many people are listening. We have a very special guest today, in the name of Dr. Sherry, and I'm sure that he is no stranger to media, to our media platform, to St. Lucia. So I will go over to Dr. Sherry to have him introduce himself to say a little bit more about what we're going to talk about today. So, Dr. Sherry, welcome to our program. Over to you.
Can you hear us?
Oh,
Um,
the sound.
yeah, I can't. There's no audio coming from. What is? I can't. Skip. Hey, Dr. Sherry, we can. Can you hear us? We definitely can't hear you on our end. We don't know what's wrong. Okay, he's gonna join. He's gonna join the live again. All right, we seem to be having a little technical glitch. Okay, folks. So yes, so this morning we were talking about.
The dangers of the internet. And before we delve into our program, I'd love to say happy birthday to a very important person to me, my first princess. It's a birthday today. So, Tia, wherever you are listening, happy birthday. And mommy loves you very much.
Yeah,
Happy
yeah, don't
birthday
even
to you.
celebrating any special body, any family member, any.
And of course, happy birthday to Mr. Emmanuel at the Mikod Predialasani station. So I'd like to wish him happy
Oh,
birthday today, the Vice President of
right.
NYC.
Okay.
Okay, so have a great one, Mr. Emmanuel, if you're listening.
We also want to extend some public greetings to Ras I. Big up yourself. It's Ras I's
Mhm.
birthday. It means June over at Belfort. It's your birthday today as well. So all the best. Happy birthday to all you celebrating your big day today. Okay. Rastaman Cherry, can you hear us clearly?
I can hear you guys clearly. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you now. We can hear you now. We can hear you. That's a whole lot
So
better.
I logged off and I logged back in because I don't
Yes.
know. Maybe when she called me, yeah.
Yeah, we do this. We call
Let me
it
let,
technology and
let me
kind of.
start off by delivering a message I was given to deliver this morning. When I posted the flyer, I got a message from Sandy Fields, who is currently in Maryland, and I was told to tell you, sir, good morning. And I was given some more information, which I'm not going to repeat on the air, but good morning.
I'd really love to hear that message.
Good morning, Miss Fields. All right, pick up to you. All right, take it away, Miss Bonibet. I know your guest is there, so get interactive.
Yes, Dr. Cherry. So this morning, give us really information, how excited you are to be on my show finally, and about our topic this morning. So over to you.
I lost you guys there for a second. I lost you guys there for a second. You guys were like,
Yes,
your videos
we
were.
lose the internet.
Yes.
Are you guys back on? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we're on with you.
We're hearing you.
All right. Yeah, so good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me. People all over Soufriere and the rest of St. Lucia. Soufriere is like my second home.
Oh,
Miss Bojemet is doing. Again,
We keep losing the. I don't know why we keep losing the feed.
you might have to reconnect.
Yeah, hey, Cherry, with us. You might have to log off and reconnect again. We keep losing the feed. Yeah, I guess it's the. We can't. Yeah. All right, folks. We seem to be having some technical issues. All right, folks. So bear with us.
Yes.
Very fast. That
Our sincerest apology
yeah,
for that this morning, and Dr. Cherry is very eager
yeah.
to begin this morning our program.
And you know those things do happen there when you have internet and all those. You know sometimes
Definitely.
the service provider.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
A lot
Reception,
of
service
yeah,
provider. So yeah, those things do happen.
the glitches
Yeah.
is in
All
our
right.
program.
So
So he's an advocate, just like me.
right.
This is why I really encouraged him to be here. And we did a program before, some parenting program, and I was very impressed with his delivery
Right.
about the media and, of course, certain apps that parents can use to have the children, to check on the children to ensure that, they are kept at least somewhat safe.
Right.
Yes.
So you back here with us?
Yeah, I'm back in. I also changed my location to see if the issue is on my end, but hopefully you guys can hear me clearly.
Yes, clearly. I guess it's maybe the either reception or the service provider already. Those things do happen.
We're
Yeah,
hearing you clearly there.
So we can hear you clearly. Go ahead. We want to apologize to the general public on that. Huh?
Of course, we do apologize for this
yeah.
technical difficulties.
There's an echo now. I was saying that it's very important that we share the message. Yeah, there's a serious feedback now. I'm hearing myself echo.
Oh, we're hearing you clearly around. Well, here.
Okay, so if you guys are hearing me clearly, that's fine. I will deliver echo on my end. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, so as I was saying, it's very important that we share the message to parents, to the general public, to everyone at large. So it's very good the programs that what you guys are doing and educating the masses.
We're here with
So
you. We're here.
today's topic is the thing we all love, the thing we all come to depend on. We can't seem to live without it. If we have 30 seconds where it's not working, we feel like, how are we gonna make it through the day? And we're talking about the beautiful thing of the internet.
And of course, as much as it's beautiful, and of course, we cannot do without it, there are certain dangers involved with being on this internet. So we felt it very important, especially to reach out to parents of children, to share some of these dangers that the children do face on the internet. Because as we are aware, there are some, it's almost like the internet can serve as a preying ground for predators to come on and to challenge, to speak to children here. So, Dr. Cherry, as I was saying, are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you clearly.
Yes. So, as I was saying earlier, I was very impressed with your presentation was when we did it at the parenting program, and you shared some good information regarding the some apps and some ways that parents could keep tabs on their children, and of course some of the things that happens when the children are unattended, or even when parents are around, the dangers that look around on the internet. So I'll pass it over to you to give some more information on this.
You here with us?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes, yes. 1 minute ago, your mic was was muted. We can
Muted.
hear you.
Yeah, when people are, yeah, when someone else is talking, I usually mute my mic to avoid the feedback and so forth. Yeah.
Carry on.
Um, So I was saying, yeah, thanks for that. Like everything else, I usually like to start off my presentation with what a textbook definition of the topic is. So I will give a textbook definition of what the internet is. The internet is a global network of interconnected computers, servers, phones, and smart appliances that communicate with each other using TCP. TCP, of course, is Transmission Control Protocol, you know, standards to enable a fast exchange of information, files, and other types of services. That is a textbook definition of what the internet is. So the internet is an interconnected connection between computers, servers, smartphones, and smart appliances. So that in itself, when you hear the definition of that, that in itself should raise concerns. Like I said, as much as we love the internet, I love it personally because, as you guys know, I reside in the US, really. I work in the US, but I'm here in St. Lucia. But I'm at work. Today is a work day for me. So I am using the internet. Yesterday, for example, flow service was down in my area a whole day. So I lost a day's work. I called them and complained and everything else, but I lost a day's work. So the internet has become an integral part of our lives. We can't do without it. All our devices, most people don't even carry home phones anymore. Everyone carries a cell phone. You know, everyone now, we know that everyone needs a little computer skills because everything now has to do with technology. The appliances you put in your home right now, the television is no longer go on the television and turn the knob to channel 4 or channel 2 or channel 3. Everything is digital. The service providers, no, most people no longer have cable in their home where cable wire is running through the house. Everyone is using smart TV and jumping on Netflix and jumping on YouTube, and we have it on almost everything. We have it on our phones, we have it on our watches, we have it on our television. I mean, they incorporate it in everything because that's where the world is moving. And it's a beautiful thing because it helps us communicate with our loved ones. We no longer have to wait weeks when we write a letter to our grand aunt in England or wherever, because we know when they write back, we get a little £10 in the envelope. We can call them immediately now and say, "Hey, auntie, I need to buy this and that." And technology again allows them to go on their phone, Western Union, MoneyGram, Cash App, Zelle, and almost instantaneously you have that fund waiting on you. So the internet is a beautiful thing. You can travel and talk to your kids on a daily basis. It's not just, you can see them, you can see what they're doing, you can see the environment. It's a beautiful thing. But
It
we all
gives you.
know growing up, they always told us too much of anything is a bad thing. If you love sweets and you eat too much sugar, diabetes. You love fried food and you eat too much of that, another issue. So a little bit of too much of anything, I think the good book even says that. The good book even says that. Too much of anything is a bad thing. And so we have to, and there, when growing up, we learn that there are advantages and there are also disadvantages. So I think most people are familiar with the advantages of the internet. But what people don't pay attention to, especially parents, are the disadvantages. But I like to go a step further and not use the word disadvantage. I like to use the word danger, the dangers of the internet, And what are these? Again, if we go back to the definition of what the internet is, right? The internet is a global network of interconnected computers. Global. It's not back in the day where you were living in Soufriere and you have a family living in Grosville and you will see them for years. You will see them for months. Every day they say, "Hey, I just been wow, I been wow, the mommy bonjour, bamwe." I been wow because you have to travel. Now it is a global network, which means not only friends and family are you connected to, you are connected to complete strangers. And we all know if there's a door, there's a key. Now you might not have a key to enter that door, but the owner might have a key. The person that built the house or created the door might have a key. So the same way you might not know how to get into someone's phone, you might not have the knowledge how to get into someone's phone, how to hack a smart device in someone's home. That doesn't mean the people that created it, that doesn't mean the people that study it, the people that specialize in it don't have the access key. I mean, I know most times people, even for your computer, you need an antivirus.
Yep.
But sometimes we don't know the same people that selling you the antivirus is the one creating the virus because how else will they make their money?
True.
Exactly.
Every couple months you need an upgrade because what they sold you the last time, they now need to keep making money. So they tell you that is no longer strong enough for the new malware.
Hmm.
But who are creating those malwares? And I'm not here pointing fingers at anyone, but someone's creating it because there's a way to benefit from it.
Hmm.
So just because you don't know how to do something, just because Miss Bojimet don't know how to hack into someone's phone doesn't mean someone else doesn't.
Okay.
So for parents need to understand those dangers. I have been a strong advocate trying to ensure that every child has a device in order for them to do their schoolwork. I think it's important. But as much as every parent wants that as well, every parent should also understand the safety measures, the precaution measures that they as parents must take, must understand rules that not just the government put in place or the creators of the technology put in place, but rules that parents themselves have to put in place, mechanisms that they must put in place to protect the privacy of their home on a whole, the privacy of their children, and the total protection of the child from anywhere from predators, human trafficking,
Hmm.
sex and sexual content, pedophiles, molesters, abusers, scammers, and also their personal identity, their identity. The NIC number, in some cases, if you live in the US, your social security number, your date of birth, your full name, any codes and pins and passwords that you have, those things all require protection
Yep.
because I can tell you guys, because of my skill set, the things I'm capable of doing on the internet with electronic devices, with smart TVs, with smart devices. I may choose to be a professional and choose not to engage in illegal activities, but we live in a world of desperate people. When people have technology or people have knowledge, sometimes more knowledge can be contagious. Knowledge can be, it can be so intriguing that we love to challenge ourselves. We love to see what we can do. Sometimes it's an itch you have in your hands when you have the knowledge and you want to. That's I wonder if I could stay here and hack Bojimet's phone over there. Yeah, sir.
Hmm.
Like maybe it's just a challenge. You just want to challenge yourself. And then it becomes a drug because the
Hmm.
internet in itself can become a drug. Not just the drug where you can't seem to put it down, you can't seem to get off social media, you can't seem to stop checking statuses on WhatsApp and Facebook and IG, because there's different levels of that drug. There's different levels of that drug where you can't seem to get any work done because you're on social media every day. Or it could be the drug where you love coding and you want to see how they did it and you want to get in the belly of the beast. You want to get in the back door and see how they did that, how they created that, what coding, what made that dog laugh and bark and scream. And you want to learn that. And then once you have, you're like, okay, so that's how that works. What can I do on my own now? What can I create?
Hmm.
And if you're not careful, and if you don't read all the bylaws, you find yourself tilting on the line of breaking laws. If you're
Yep.
not careful, you find yourself doing something like, oh no, that can't be legal what I just did.
One
And as
thing.
a result of that, your kids are in danger. Your
One thing I,
children are in danger. Yeah, go ahead.
I say
Yeah.
one thing I wanted to highlight here because you made plenty of good points there. But one thing I really want to highlight, especially here in St. Lucia, Parents, not all parents, some parents, biggest problem, the biggest issue here is supervision when it comes to those
Mm-hmm.
devices. Parents
Yep.
use it as pacifiers.
Mm-hmm.
Those
Yep.
devices, parents use them as
True.
pacifiers. Just hey, put him on my saki, put him on my mwen. Or uche mansa fe
Put,
mabufe. You
mhm.
understand?
Put the child on the tablet.
Yes.
Put them on the phone.
And again,
Mm-hmm.
that's almost anything. And most persons will that's a recipe for disaster
Mm-hmm.
because you expose to almost anything out there.
And not only that, sometimes it's lack of supervision, but it could be that too. Some parents are not computer savvy,
That
so
too.
they do
That
not know
too.
much.
That too.
So the basic skills that parents have, where they can tell the child, they can go on YouTube to put a video for a child or so on. This child may know more about the computer than the parent themselves. So sometimes it's not even a thing of supervision; it's a thing of lack of knowledge, of ignorance.
And
So.
for those parents who I mean like you tech savvy and all that, and like I like Dr. Venus did mention in terms of putting some code, some restrictions.
Mhm.
You have to restrict certain sites that children actually, there's something called pop-ups, eh? And why
There
do things
are.
pop up?
There
When
are.
children, they want to pick the brain, they want to, like,
Mhm.
why curious boy? Let me see what's in there.
Mhm.
Again, so much can be happen there. Exploitation. Sometimes somebody looking at somebody kind of there, just to
Definitely.
find out again information like Mr. Vina said. Again, so many things happening with children.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
my
because
So
goodness.
even
some
on
of the
the go ahead, sorry.
Go ahead.
the top 7 dangers kids face online: cyberbullying, cyber
There you
predators,
go. There you go
Yep.
again.
posting private information,
Yep.
phishing, falling for scams,
Yep.
accidentally downloading malware, posts that
Mhm.
will come back and haunt children later in life. You know,
Def-
and like Bojamet was saying, the problem we have is not always lack of supervision. The problem we have is the technology world we're living in. This is their generation. This is their thing. You give a child a tablet now because sometimes, boy, like you say, as a pacifier. You give a child an electronic device as a pacifier. We turn on their TV so they can watch Coco Melon and Miss Rachel because we have our house chores to do, and so the TV is raising that child. And that child will get curious. That child will get curious, and that child will want you not there, and that little 30-minute video ended, and they want the next one, and they just touch buttons and press buttons, and boom, something else
yes.
comes on, and their curiosity is piqued. Now, what we must learn is this: if a child is born in St. Lucia, most likely the child will grow up speaking English, Creole, right? If a child
Yep.
is born in China, they'll grow up speaking Chinese and whatever other native languages that they have. It's the brain of a child. So if you expose a child to something very early on, they start to learn that language. They start to pick up that language. So they immediately start to learn how the remote works, how the TV works, how the
Yes.
tablet works, and so forth. You know,
Every-
and so they become more technology savvy than their parents.
Facts.
Parents also have to be very careful if you have a shared device. You as a
Yep.
parent can't be going on certain sites and watch certain things on your tablet or your phone or your computer and then give the child access, because the child will maybe accidentally or by design go in your browser and click
Yep.
on the links that you went through,
Facts.
Mhm. And
and
even
then they
some of
see
the
and they're like, go ahead.
sorry, yeah. I was just saying, and even some of the sites when you do visit them, some of these pop-ups come. And of course, when a child is watching, say a child must be watching the cartoon or so on, and these pop-ups would show up. And of course, as curious minds, they would want to go into it. So I'm saying that what you're saying is very true as to the sites that certain parents visit, that certain sites would encourage certain pop-ups. So they need to be very careful.
Some of the dangers parents need to understand. Now we know we all love a little bootleg something. We all love a little thing that's free. Life is hard, boy. I can't afford to play the internet. I go and sit by a neighbor, they have an open Wi-Fi and I jump on it. The problem with those things is sometimes Those Wi-Fi's are open for a reason.
Yep.
Sometimes that person is not just being a good citizen, open Wi-Fi for you. People leave Wi-Fi open for a reason sometimes because there are codes in there. Once you log on to that free Wi-Fi, they now have access to all of your information.
Yep.
And that's the thing people don't understand. Not any and everywhere you go, you see a free Wi-Fi, you just jump on it.
Hmm.
Because when you jump on it, you are giving permission, some permissions you don't even know about because it's written in their code, in their back door.
Nice.
Some of those
Because I
Wi-Fi
didn't.
might tell you to click I agree. Some of
Yeah.
those Wi-Fi might tell you click on I agree. So today or
True.
tomorrow, when they get all your information, you bring them to court. You cannot win because you agreed to their terms and conditions. And we
Very
sometimes
true.
are so eager to jump on the internet because, boy, we just doing that for a short time. We have something to do. Boy, I want to make a call. I don't have no money. I want to use my WhatsApp. You have a free Wi-Fi. You see a whole list of disclaimer. The fine point print so small. You're not reading that. You're scrolling all the way down. You're clicking on I agree. And next thing you know, you're on the internet. But the person have outlined in there all of their business and say they have permission to your pictures and this and your contacts and this, and you have agreed
Mhm.
to it.
You have agreed. Yes, that is so so true. Because things that you would not even think of. Because I'm learning. I must say that I'm learning this morning. So thank you again, Dr. Cherry, for bringing this to light. Mm.
You see, I walk with a MiFi device. I walk with my MiFi device that I pay for and I put my data every month. Simply because I don't trust open Wi-Fi. It could be in the most reputable business place. Sometimes the business person is not the person responsible for the internet. You don't know who they hire to come and run their wires for them, what shortcuts they cut in, what else that person that installed the internet or that IT person or that IT person that a dog that is a little, I want to use a word that is nice, a little adventurous and want
Yeah,
to test
be discreet, be
themselves.
discreet, be discreet.
You know, a little adventurous and want to test themselves and what they can do. People are like, I can tell you guys, I came into the technology world late. You know, I didn't grow up with computers and any of that. I did a little, I didn't even do typing at Castries Comprehensive. I did typing at SAFA and I did a little introductory computer class at SAFA. It was only when I was doing my master's at Bloomsburg University in Pennsylvania that I was introduced to IT. It doesn't take that much or that long to learn it and to practice and to become really good at it. It is not something you have to go to school for 3, 4, 5 years. If you are interested in it, a month of practice, a month of reading and watching YouTube videos will teach you almost everything you want to know.
Mhm, mhm.
And you can become very proficient at it if you're really interested in it. It's a gaming world, the world of gaming and technology. A lot of kids are into that, so they learn those things. You see a lot of
Still there?
I think we've lost him for a bit.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, again, boy, the world of internet. Speaking about technology, yeah,
Indeed,
yeah, it did.
the glitches of technology.
Yeah,
Yes,
but on a serious note, a lot of persons need to acknowledge what is being said here this morning. All right,
very interesting program.
especially
Mm.
with smartphones. I mean, I don't want to make anybody feel any weird, but you have some smartphones in the wrong hands.
Hmm.
All
You
right,
do.
I think.
We have some computer whiz around,
Mhm,
and like Dr. Cherry was saying, it's not everybody who's using it for the right reasons.
mhm,
And we have to be very careful. And parents, I know that some of us, I will say us because I will not call myself too computer savvy,
mhm.
and we need to learn not just for ourselves but also to protect our children.
Right.
So um okay, so Dr. Cherry is back.
All right.
yeah, it told me something went wrong. I had to log back in. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, we
loud
are.
and clear.
Thank
All
you
right,
for
it's even better. It's even better now. I don't have an echo anymore.
it. Welcome back. The
Yeah.
world of
So
computer.
Yeah.
I, I was saying there are just so many dangers. You know, sometimes you do the thing, you do the, you know, I pray and hope. I pray and hope that our technology companies that are installing some of the public Wi-Fi in public places and the parks and so forth, that these things are consistently monitored, checked to ensure that there are no barcodings in there and that our public are safe because these things can happen. But we're talking to the parents, so they need to be careful. But what I wanted to drive into is this: parents, you have a level of control. You can one be the parent that has rules and regulation. If your device is used for homework and maybe 20, 30 minutes of leisure time, there are codes that you can, for example, if it's a tablet for a child, tablets can be set up in kids mode. That's the first thing. That's the coding that's already installed in some of those devices. Kids mode. Now, if a parent need to go and use that tablet, that parents can remove it from kids mode, and they can set it in a manner where it's password set. So if you need to come out of kids mode, a password is required that only the parents know. You know, to come out of kids mode, do what you're doing, then put it back in kids mode before you hand it to those children. And so kids mode, being in kids mode, unless your child is a hacker or like have advanced knowledge or in that field, they won't be able to come out of there to go onto any site. Kids mode gives you the option of specifying the age range of your child. And so the content that they view will be just within that range. Age appropriate content. So these parents can set that up. There are also apps that parents can install on like a child's phone, for example, and their phone, so they can monitor how much internet time the child is having. And when they say that's enough, when I say I give you 30 minutes of internet time, not only can I monitor what you're watching, I can shut it down when it's time, when I'm ready, and say you've had enough. Because if I tell you, when I leave it on you and I leave it at your discretion, I say 30 minutes and you're going overboard, I can go on there and see that you're still on there and shut it down. Now, a lot of our parents, we want to be friends with our children first and not parents first. And that's where the problem comes. We want to be friends first. You have to be a parent first, then a friend second. Don't be so eager to be your child's friend that you want to allow them extra time. And then the dangers come in where now all they care about is internet. Another danger of the internet is anti-social. To be anti-social. Because you see, we worry about what the internet can pose when we on there. But we have to remember we're human beings, and human beings need human interaction.
Yep.
You have 3-4 children in a house, each have a device. They haven't played with each other for a week. They haven't really spoken to each other for a week. They come in and say good morning or good afternoon because that's probably the norm. That one go in the room, that one go there, that one or even if they're in the same room, that one on the device, unless they're actually sharing or showing a TikTok video to one another, they're not really interacting with each other.
Gaming, right?
Online gaming.
Yeah. They're not really interacting with each other, so that poses another danger. If we lack human interaction, you might lack the ability to deal with humans, the ability to deal with conflicts, the ability to reason and have arguments and respectful dialogue and so forth. Those are also some of the dangers.
That is so true. But Dr. Cherry, let me ask you. I'm going back to the parents. You did state that some of the means that parents can use to secure their children's devices. But many parents, let's take it to see now, we tell them that, but then many parents don't have the know how to get this done. How can we, as advocates, assist parents, not just to tell them, okay, this is what you have to do, go get an app and whatever. But some parents need to have the devices and somebody at least teach them how to do it. So, what do you think we can do as advocates to assist parents even more?
So this is one, this can be a beautiful project. This
Yeah.
is something where we need to engage technology professionals, technology companies, and do some. You see the same way we have parental programs that we teach them about breastfeeding, we tell them about nursing, we tell them Have some of those technology workshops. Lucille, Flo, Digicel, bring in some of your tech. Ministry of Education, partner with them, bring in some of your techs, do some workshops. Show it us in the community, the NGOs, do some workshops. Digicel
Mm-hmm.
staff, when they
Yep,
come in, instead of just showing me how to put in the Digicel app on the phone and how to do this and all, show the
Mm-hmm.
parents, this is where is the Play Store, this is how you download, this is the app you download, show them, they take two phones, this is how it works. We
Yeah.
all have a part to play in
Mm-hmm.
protecting ourselves. Guys, you must realize with the gang violence thing going, the phone is also being used to recruit our kids.
True. Mm-hmm.
And that will affect every sector in our country, in our economy, and beyond our borders. So this fight cannot just be mine and yours, Miss Bojimet, and your DJ there. This has to be everybody, all hands on deck. I'm talking about the government. I'm
Definitely.
talking about Ministry of Education, Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of
Mm-hmm.
yep.
everybody. I'm talking about the police. I'm
Definitely.
talking about
All
Flow
stakeholders.
Digital.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All
And
of us have to see and
Mm-hmm.
understand that a child might not even have breakfast nowadays. Breakfast. Breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
They might not have breakfast, but they have a smartphone.
Oh yes, definitely. Because
They might not have
like
breakfast, but they have a smartphone.
oh yes, definitely. Because some children, like you rightfully said, it's like they've become so addicted. I'm going to use the word addicted to a phone because I've had parents say to me, Miss, when I take a phone from my child to see how the child reacts, I've never seen this reaction before. It's like the child goes crazy or the child goes mad and I don't know what to do. So it's like these children are so addicted to the phone. And like you're saying, yes, that the socialization part of it, we're losing that because if you look at in the schools right now in society, people do not know how to interact with each other anymore. They do not know how to solve problems and conflict resolution because it's all about a phone. You go on a bus, no longer will you have conversations on buses anymore. You just say good morning, good evening, greet, and everybody's in their phone.
Persons are so engrossed in that.
Yeah.
With plugs on. Persons even forget to say good morning.
And that's another
You
danger. Thank you
understand?
for bringing it up. That you find people going and jog and they
AirPods.
have their AirPods running. How can you even hear anybody behind you or a vehicle coming, or even the children in the house in the homes? How can you tell when somebody's coming into your home to break and enter because of these AirPods and so on? So there's a lot of danger looking around. Back to you, Dr. Cherry.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it has its benefits. But again, there's always advantages and disadvantages to
Disadvantages,
everything.
right?
Now, back to the parents you're talking about that dose. Like when I see the child, it's because, again, we've used the device as a pacifier for so long
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
that the child is now hooked on it. You never set no limits to begin with. What the child is exhibiting is pattern of behavior. Why
Mm-hmm.
now? Why you want to take it from me now? You've allowed me to be on it for the last 2 years, 6 months without anything. I fall asleep with it in my hand, and then when I wake up, I see you turn it off and you put it away.
Exactly. So true.
You
Again, we
set
need
that.
to teach
That
our
that's
children
what you.
routine.
That is the
Yeah.
routine that you have set as a parent. You have put in place. So now it becomes hard to break it. So
Mm-hmm.
the thing we have to do now is create the proper standards from the beginning.
There you go. Very much so.
Make sure your children have house chores and stuff to do before they go on and have an internet break. Make sure homework is done. And the problem nowadays, what I get? I say my daughter comes home, had a 419, and she say, "Have you done your homework?" "Oh no, daddy, I don't have homework." "What you mean you don't have homework? You always have homework. Even if the teacher doesn't give you homework, you always say, okay, pull up, give me a textbook. Give me a textbook. What chapter are you in this textbook?" "That is chapter 3. "Okay, let me switch to chapter 6 and ask you a question in chapter 6. Do you know what's in chapter 6? "No, daddy." Then you have homework.
Exactly. And there's
You
revision
have
after.
homework. You
Yeah.
always have homework. So before you can come and go on a device, I need to see you either A, doing the homework that the teacher gave you, or you reading a chapter ahead to be prepared. Parents like
Hmm. So indeed the parents have to take control, because
Mhm.
too many times you find it's almost like the children are the parents and the parents are the children, because the children are getting away with so much and they're doing what they want.
Right, and I tell them, boy, it's
Yeah.
crazy, yeah.
To hear, it is so sad now to hear a parent say, I don't know what else to do.
Mhm.
I cannot control this child and I do not know what else to do. I am lost. Miss, how do I speak to my child and what do I do at this point? My question, I go back to parents. What were you doing from the
Yeah,
inception? Okay,
yes.
you don't wait to discipline a child. You don't wait to put things in place, have certain routines, have certain schedules in place for your children. Don't wait when the child is 10 or the child is 14
Or
to do that.
you can't control that child.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
that's the
don't,
thing.
you have to start it from the child, from a
Inception.
year,
Yeah, man.
from inception.
Yeah, man.
Okay? Develop this certain routine. So when your child has this particular routine, this particular schedule, they would know, okay, when I come home, the first thing I'll not get, the first thing is a tablet. I will go and maybe eat my food, do my chores, then take 15 minutes to do this and do that. But if the first thing is to reach out to your device and nothing else happens, of course, this is what you've trained your child to
It
do.
boils down to the respect, of course, instilling morals, principles in children.
Mhm.
You see, all those things.
And we're losing that now.
I tell you.
Okay, so our the internet now is raising our children first.
Yeah. I mean, boy, this
Yes,
generation, in the 21st century, I tell you, things just, boy, they were in the 90s, everybody was getting together. We played marbles together. Again, we spoke about socializing and all that. Boy, fire.
And I mean that's the problem now, and this issue is creeping even into our schools because now we have to address in the schools of children having their phones in the classrooms, want to be on their phones in the classroom and disrupting class. And again, if a teacher even attempts to take the phone from a child, is either the teacher have to take licks from that child or the parents come there and give the teacher licks or words. Because
there you.
again, we don't set the right values. I'm not saying my child cannot go to school with their phone because I
Mhm.
need to contact you either during recess or lunchtime or if you have an issue. But as soon as you
Exactly.
walk into that school gate, that phone should be completely off in your bag. If there's an emergency, the teacher or whoever can turn on that phone and call me, or during your lunch break or whatever, you can turn on that
Your
phone
free
and call
time.
me.
Yes.
There has to be rules, but you cannot expect the teacher to be the one to make those rules. That should come from the home even before you leaving with the phone.
Well, the sad reality, like you rightfully said, if a teacher takes a phone from a child, say it's 10:05, by 10:10, there will be somebody at the school already coming to get that phone.
But
Very
the
seriously.
PTA meeting, you ain't gonna see people showing
Not
up on
at
the
all.
PTA meeting,
Not
eh?
at all. They're always busy. But say you take that phone 10:05, by 10:10, this child would have contacted somebody at home and somebody would come and pick up that phone. And there you, the teacher, not give that phone. Like Dr. Cherry said, occasional beating, eh? Oh,
So
yes.
that is that those are some of the dangers. The dangers is not just the internet alone. The dangers are our lack of supervision, our
Hmm.
lack of rules that we, the parents, implement from the onset. And if those rules are not followed, the consequences should follow. You don't get the device. You don't
Exactly.
get it. You can scream and cry and bawl, and you'll fall. Eventually, my grandmother used to say, when you cry so much, eventually you'll fall asleep.
Yes.
You know. But
I
we
feel like that's one of the best ways to actually punish a child. Take all what they love, especially those devices
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
unlike corporal punishment. Set mama isa kapwe ku sa pa yo pa
Nothing
corrigir.
happens.
But as long as you take what they love, oh boy, persons
But
are
yeah,
molested. Persons.
but if I'm a child and I have my device and you beat me, guy just taking my licks and go on my device.
Exactly.
Exactly, exactly.
And now you know some children will be begging their parents, beat me instead, don't take my device.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't know.
Exactly.
Yes, beat me instead.
Exactly.
Oh,
Because we know the pain will go away, you'll just cry. I used to be that way. I used to, my mother said,
yes.
if I come home and she heard I fight, I get in licks. When I fighting with the child, I begging, I telling them I wouldn't even give you so much licks, but because I know my mother going to beat me, I giving you more licks. I getting ready, I preparing for the lick. You know,
Yes.
so the thing we have to understand how those things work. I mean, we as adults, when we don't have internet for like 2 minutes, we feeling like we naked in public.
Mhm.
We feel
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable.
True.
So we must understand that children are going through that too. So we must set up the rules. We must set standards. We must have rules and regulations for them to follow. We must, when we buy an electronic device, even before we leave in the store, find out who is the technical person there, the IT person there, and ask them.
The
Ask them the
absent
same way you have
one.
to ask them about.
Definitely. Get
Yeah, the
help.
same way you have to ask them about the antivirus on there to protect the laptop. Protect your child
Mm-hmm.
too. Ask them
Yeah.
right there and then if they can put restrictions and block certain websites and block certain
Mhm.
downloads. Have them do it right there and then. If it's an extra $20 or $50 you have to pay, believe you me, it is worth it.
It is worth it.
Do it right
Yes.
there and then.
Because in the same places the children go, like the Snapchats and so on, these are the grounds, the preying grounds for our
Mm.
predators when they come on to post or pose as children themselves. They
But
pose as children.
research and data will show now that
Mhm.
older men and women are creating kids' profile
Mhm.
in all them TikToks and Snapchats and other apps to play and to talk to children, to befriend children, to the point where when they get comfortable enough, they might reveal much later that they're so and so because the child is already so comfortable and already
Yes,
talking about doing things that is inappropriate.
definitely.
So you as a parent too, every now and then you have to spend time on your child social media platform as if you're them. You have
Yep.
to talk to their
Mhm.
friends, have conversation if you have their friends as if you're them. Hello, good morning, how are you? How you doing? To see what the chat, the history is, what the conversation is, and to try to decipher if that is a real child talking to your child or not.
Exactly. And you cannot tell me that your child have devices at your home that you do not know the passwords to.
Oh,
You should have passwords to the child's devices that you pick up, you do random checks, you pick up the phone, you pick up your tablets at any point to just go through it. Or if you forget the password, for instance, you should be able to tell the child, get the phone or the tablet at any point and say, look, put the password for me or give it to me again and go through it, that the child will not grab the phone or start crying or start deleting. No, you should be able as a parent to have that authority to do so. Because I'm
let me
hearing
just
some
say,
parents telling me, I don't know passwords and I cannot do that. Me.
I concur.
let me just say this to every parent. Every parent. As long as your child falls under the lawful definition of what a child is,
Mm-hmm.
you have full rights to access every single device. Because where those devices are concerned, this child, there is no privacy law that protects that child from you
Mm-hmm.
going in that device to ensure their safety and ensure that they're sticking within the rules.
Exactly.
Because you are also criminally liable.
Mm-hmm.
If this child goes on social media, bullies, shares nudity, shares theirs or someone else's nudity, and anything that they do that is unlawful, you are liable.
Thank you. And let them know that loud and clear. Let parents know that, because I think a lot of parents are ignorant of the fact that you just shared, Dr. Cherry. Please repeat.
Ignorant
Let
of the
parents know
consequences.
that.
Yes.
Ignorance of the
Every
consequences. Yes, let them know.
child that falls within the definition, the lawful definition of what a child is in a country, has no privacy laws that protects any privacy of theirs on any electronic device. You as the parent should be the one that create the password and create a safe password that is secured from lurkers on the internet, but you should have full access. And in fact, you should make it your priority. You should make it an event in your daily routine to take that device at any time, unsuspecting of them at any time. While they're sitting there, you're having a good time and you're laughing, there's no problem. And say, hey, lend me your phone.
Exactly.
Don't wait till you have
Definitely.
a problem and they have a problem and you're arguing and you're, no, anytime, the nicest time, whilst you're on the bus and they're telling you about their days, hey, where your phone? Give me your phone.
Exactly. Yep.
Anytime. Because
Yeah.
they if you don't do it that way, if you only do it when you have an argument and there's a problem and now you want to go, they will know and they know how to deal it.
Mm-hmm.
They
You
know how
made
to
mention
remove
of
stuff.
yeah, you made mention of something earlier, Dr. Cherry. I need you to shed some light on it. When you said that so things don't go away on the internet and it could come back to surprise you when you least expect, please explain that to our listeners.
Yes. Nothing on the internet is ever truly deleted.
Mm-hmm.
It's never truly deleted. So when people are up to mischief and malice and all of that, and if you live in a country that don't have laws, don't have cyberbullying laws, internet laws, and don't have labs and technicians to go into it, you may get away with it. But if someone has money and wants to push and wants to send the stuff overseas, nothing is
Mm-hmm.
ever truly deleted. If you created it one time by mistake, delete it is there to be found. It just takes the right person,
Mm-hmm.
the right knowledge, the right skill set to go in that data time and find it. You might not be able to find it. You might delete it off your phone. You might even go to your trash. Because people notice now, people have become a little wise and notice if you delete something in your gallery, for instance, it sits in your trash for a while
Mm-hmm.
based on how what your trash has rules and regulations so that says delete from trash after whatever certain time, 7 days, a week, 2 weeks, a month, whatever. Then it moves in your trash, but it doesn't. It's not gone. Might not be on your device, but it's out there in the net and it can be found. So you must always learn that. Be respectful, be courteous, follow the rules that the internet was made and for the purpose it was made. Because nothing is truly you, and you are liable. If it can be found, you are liable. If your child created it, your child did it, you are liable. So raise your children right so they don't do certain things. When you are giving them a device, make them understand the reason for it, the purpose. And that's the problem. Sometimes we just give our kids devices. We don't tell them the purpose for it. You get you get a laptop from the government, it's for your work, your SBAs, and certain stuff. You are on there spending more time on TikTok and Snapchat and this and that as opposed to doing what it was set for. When you give
Also,
your child a phone, and a lot of the people
mhm,
that go in and spend thousands and thousands of dollars on smart devices for your children. Listen to me. The more expensive a device is, the more complex it is,
exactly.
the more complex it is. Also, the more intriguing a hack is to get
And
to
tell us
that
also,
device.
what about the dangers, Dr. Cherry, to you as the individual? Because I don't know much about cell phones, but I've been told the higher end phones is even more dangerous to us with all the please
Oh
explain.
yeah, I mean it is not
Yes, for
a
our
myth.
health.
A lot of people think it's a myth when people talk about wave and all those things that those devices pose to us. I mean, pay attention to our world right now. Okay? Apart from the few people that didn't grow up in the technology age are living to 100 and so on. Many of our friends are dying young like us right now.
Mhm.
Young people are just collapsing. They have no history of illnesses and boom, boom, bap, they done. Now people are associating it with vaccines. People are also, but we cannot ignore electronic waves. We cannot ignore the fact that these devices work on certain frequencies. We cannot ignore, every time there is an upgrade to the Wi-Fi, to 5G, and we cannot ignore those things as well. Those things they become part of our lives, and so we're shortening our lives because we're enjoying those devices. But that's why I tell everyone, just like you need to detox your body, taking a cooling and a purge or blood cleanser, you need to do detoxing of your food. You go on diets, we do exercise. You also need to detox from your devices.
Exactly.
You need
Definitely.
to turn off those things for a while. You need to put them away. And this is why I'm talking about socializing.
Mm-hmm.
We have a problem here. We hardly have recreational facilities here for kids. We hardly have parks and places. You see all kids go and they play and they interact. We don't even let our kids play with the neighbors anymore because we're always in a fight and an argument. If it's not for political reasons, it's for land, it's for sisters not talking to sisters so their children can play and their children. We no longer do those things. All we do is put electronic devices. We upgrade everything in our home from manual to digital.
Mm-hmm.
Every device in our house is a smart device, and now we come into a little money. We say things are hard, but all of us, as we grow up and as we get educated, we come into a little more money. Before we had no TVs in our home. Now we not only have one in the living room, we have one in every bedroom.
Definitely.
This
So,
is around us 24/7. So we
yep.
have to at some point turn off those devices, even when you're not using them. We just turn, for example, that smart TV. You just turn it off with the remote. No, hit the plug, hit it at the switch, turn those devices off, detach, disconnect.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You
Very
know,
true.
take a walk in the park, take a little stroll away from as much as you can, take a little hiking, go on the beach, do something. We are so caught up in this now that man, we walk through countries with our phone in our hand, texting.
I was just about to tell you that
We
even when
went
they
to
go
walk
at the
in front of
beach, the
vehicles.
devices are there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Anyway,
know?
shout out to the guys on Facebook. Facebook, good morning. And the challenge about this is like it's so true. Somebody's like, I'm listening from the USA. My name is Gloria, and in my view, parents have a responsibility to keep a check on their children's devices. And a lot of persons are agreeing with the parties in here as to the information that is being disseminated.
Thank you so much. Yes. And Dr. Sherry, before, yeah, I was saying also, I wanted to make a point again because this is, as a social worker, some of the things that we are faced with. And we become so helpless when clients come to us for help. It happens at the primary level, at the secondary level, where we've been told, oh, my child, somebody asked my child to send a picture of their privates and they accidentally sent it, and or it happened and it wasn't meant to come out and now it's there, or this video leaked. And if you do not want it out there, don't do it. So young ladies, young men, all of you who are listening, if you do not want it, like Dr. Cherry said, that is why I asked him again. It does not go away. So if you do not want it out there, do not send it. No matter how somebody begs you, send a little picture for me. You make my day. Send a little picture, you'll make my day. That same little picture can ruin your life. So people who are listening, parents, children, whoever, please stop sending your nudities over the phone. Stop making sexual videos and be sending. And then tomorrow you are crying, you are trying to get help. Do not send it. I know that some of it you may be ignorant of the fact that it's not being deleted. It cannot go away, it's not being deleted. But do not send it, because at the time, yes, everything is nice and topsy turvy, and the person will tell you, I will never share it, I'll never do that. Tomorrow when he goes out there, it wasn't me, huh? They steal my phone. They steal my phone and all that. And that is another danger too. Somebody can ask you to use your phone to make a call. And by the time that person uses that phone, they have already transferred information from one phone to the next. So it is very dangerous. Young people out there, stop this practice. Stop it. Over to you, Dr. Cherry. Dr. Cherry?
Oh, oh, yeah,
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, hearing you now.
I was saying that's a very valid point. And to the young people that might feel like right now, me, I don't care. I don't care. I do it, I don't
Mm,
care.
yep.
It's not now you have to even worry about them. It's not now. It's when
Yes,
you've
Don.
grown up and you become more mature and you become more aware and you become more responsible and you want to start a family or you want to start a new job. And this thing that you did 20 years ago,
Comes back to
someone
haunt you.
remembers it and someone remembers you and it
Or you
starts
go,
recirculating.
or you go up for politics. Okay, all this you have to consider the
Starts
future, not just
recirculating. At the
you're right.
time when you actually, at the time when you at least expect it, and when at the time when you actually care, that's when it can come back to bite you. You know, and again, like I said, just don't send it. No matter how much you trust the person, how in love you think you are. Let me just tell the young people something. Very few high school sweethearts are married 20, 30 years later. Very,
True.
very few. So when you
That's
are
true.
so in love right now, you're ready to run away from home, you don't want to see nobody. This morning I just got a message to tell a gentleman, good morning. I was told I was first boyfriend. They're no longer together. They're no longer together.
You put the cat out of the bag.
Yeah, I was waiting for the right time. I get a message this morning. And technology again. You see technology? You see how connected the world is? Let me show you how connected the world. You
Yes,
send
so
me the
true.
flyer. You send me the
Yes.
flyer. I posted the flyer on my WhatsApp status.
Yes.
I get a WhatsApp message from my son's mother. She messaged me laughing, all kind of laughing emojis, jumping, dancing emojis. I say, hey, what go here?
And
She
somebody's
said,
laughing
hey, hey,
uncontrollably here.
uncontrollably, like memories come flustering in her head and stuff, laughing away.
Mhm.
Rastaman Cherry, eh, eh, just so you know, that's my very first sweetheart, my very first boyfriend. I say, just so I said, I think if you send me a message telling me my son said hello, that's the message you send me. You see the internet?
Imagine.
Crazy, eh? You
Imagine what
see?
I have to tell you this morning. So
Yes.
now, if the gentleman did not want people to know 20 years later that he was the first high school sweetheart of somebody, now it's on the internet.
Yes. Very
Yep.
much so. So, in all the
So,
laughter and all
so
the fun, it is very serious. Yeah.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's a very serious thing. The world is connected. Nothing stays a secret anymore. No one has to write a
Yep.
letter that can get lost in the mail. That takes 2, 3 weeks, a month to get back
Mhm.
and forth.
That's true.
So very true.
That's true.
Right. And something else you mentioned, Dr. Cherry, when you said that parents need to the consequences. So with the rules and regulations you set parents, the consequences are just as important because you don't tell me that okay, you've given a child a bedtime. Say I told you that your bedtime is at 9 and the child is sitting up or staying up way past their bedtime and you'll just say, I've already spoken to you, I just got to bed and nothing happens. Or you will say, you only have 2 hours on the tablet and it's past 2 hours and nothing happens. So, in order for something to work, there must be consequences to what this child has done. And too many times, parents we forget about the consequences because if there are no consequences, I will continue to do what I am doing.
True.
So,
Facts.
you have to be as serious with the consequences as with the rules. So, every rule has a consequence, and it's just as important as the rule. Do we have you back, Dr. Cherry?
Yeah, he's here. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yep.
great.
yes, yes, yes.
Yes, back
Yeah.
to you.
So, I mean, guys, that's what it is. It's a beautiful thing. It connects us to the whole wide world, friends and family, job opportunities. There are some beautiful things, but we also have to be very careful. If you are pre-diabetic, or if you are
Mhm.
diabetic, what will your doctor say to you? Careful on your sugar intake. Watch what you
Mhm.
eat. Exercise. Those are the basic rules of life applies to the internet and electronic devices. the basic rules. Watch out for the dangers, especially for your unsuspecting, gullible children,
Mhm.
naive children. Because the adults, some of those adults have no conscience. They have
Not at all.
none. They will
And
take
some,
full advantage. The
yeah, and some,
internet is also being used to lure people for sex trafficking, for kidnapping, and so forth. These are
definitely.
serious, serious dangers. You will wonder how a boat from Venezuela or Colombia end up on the shores of your thing, whatever timing, and come and take your child because location has been shared on the device. Actual
Yep.
location have been shared. So someone can put on that GPS and follow that location right to your doorstep when you're there or whether
Yep.
you're not there.
Now, funny that you should say that, Dr. Cherry. I just had a conversation similar to that recently, and I was just about to make the point that, you know, let's not be gullible and say that won't happen in our small St. Lucia. Jis kote mo yeah. Kote amun jis Venezuela kai min St. Lucie vin po mo. You know, so our world is so connected and things happen so easily now. It's not back then when we had to walk miles to get to somewhere or we needed a bicycle. So you'll be surprised how quickly somebody will reach here on our shores to get your children. So we have to be even more supervise our children even more now. We have to be alert. We cannot say right where we are, right in our little Saint Lucia. It's not our little Saint Lucia anymore. It's the world out there. It's a wide world out there. So I'm happy that you mentioned that because I used that to speak to a child recently there and I said, this person can just come and say, come and meet me here, wherever you are, and let's go and visit this yacht. Oh, it's such a beautiful yacht. And next thing you know, you're being kidnapped, you're being pushed on the yacht and gone and nobody notices. So things happen so easily. I was watching a movie and I realized that right now they put things in drinks to drug the children. They put things to put you to sleep with handkerchief and so much is happening right now. So we have to be extra vigilant with our children and what they do, the activities that they do.
I think a lot of
Right
parents
now,
feel.
these things been happening for a very long time. These things have been happening for a very long time, and if you think about it, we only 21 or two to about 21 to 27 miles from Martinique and St. Vincent. Barbados is only 45 minutes away from us. We know if you think about the drug trade, we know every time you hear about drugs and stuff being found on our shores, where do you think those things come from? So it's not far fetched that people make it to our shores. Our air and seaport cannot patrol and secure all of our borders. And some people have deep pockets. Human trafficking is a serious money making thing, especially if you have a beautiful young child, have not even been involved in sexual activities, their prized possession and so forth. Those are real dangers. We do not live in an
Yep.
isolated world. We're not in the Amazon jungle because even there people get into. We can travel
Yep.
the world in a blink of an eye. So parents have to understand that danger is extremely real. And if you want to think, okay, maybe somebody will not come from Martinique or St. Vincent to do it, but someone can come from Grosley and to come and do it in Soufriere because your child have given them the location. So if you don't want to worry about the outside world, worry about the world that you are actually in and the dangers that it poses right here.
And something else, Dr. Cherry, not only with sharing your location, but the post on Facebook as well, because I know that many persons, I'm not only saying young people, a lot of people, everywhere they are, they would post. So if they go to Castries, they're posting, they're in Castries, they're in Canada, they're in Canada. So right now, you are giving information out there to people where you are. So somebody can go and break into your home, or somebody who have been wanting to do something to you or want
Will
to meet
find you.
you will find you wherever you are. So you have to be so very careful with the post you put on Facebook and Instagram and so on. Don't give so much information about you.
Correct. Absolutely correct. Which is why sometimes I post like there's no tomorrow. I confuse them. I post them in Canada, and the same time I post them in Soufriere, and then the same time I go live somewhere else. Now sometimes I go live in St. Lucia. I go live in St. Lucia, so everybody in St. Lucia. But I'm gonna just post a picture in Canada. They're talking about how beautiful Niagara Falls looking today there. What where that man really is? And people feel
Yes.
like that one, it's by design too. It is also by design because
Mhm.
there are, and people have to also learn that parents, when you are posting, you are able to uncheck your location because a lot of those apps, again, when you are downloading apps, when you are signing on to those apps, read the fine point prints, all the little pop-ups that pop up on your phone when you are signing up and downloading an app. Pay attention to what it's asking you. A lot of those ask for permission that you should not be given.
Exactly.
It will ask you for your location. It will ask you for it to have access to your photos and your on your
Mhm.
contact list and your phone. There are questions where you will look and say, no, that app does not need that permission, and so you remove those permissions. When you are
Exactly.
posting, you can go and remove your location. You guys must understand those things. It is very important to understand because a lot of those apps, for them, it's marketing. You will pay attention and you will see you having a conversation and you just say something. And next thing, when you go on Google, you see Google telling you about macaroni and cheese when we were just talking about cheese and macaroni and this. And Google is now feeding
That
you
is
all
so
this
true.
restaurant because your devices are alive. I want to
Yes,
tell
they
you that.
are.
Your
Mhm.
devices are alive. All those assistant programs you have under the mics and stuff, Google and Siri and Alexia and those things, they're listening every minute. Sometimes whilst you're talking, you will see your phone tell you, I can't find this information. And you'll be like, I ain't
So
talking to
true.
you. And you will say, but for you, that's light. For you, that you just blow it off. But that's serious. You have to go in and shut those things off. Only turn them on when you actually need them and you're actually using them. Because if not, they are learning your habits, your ways, your location. Then they in turn feed you advertisement information that the apps are pushing because that's how they make their money. So your information, your address, your location, what you're saying is always known to them. Turn those things off.
Off. Because even I was amazed once. I said I met a gentleman and I was speaking with him. And then later on in the night I'm seeing Facebook sending me um friend
People you may know or
people you
something
may
like
know
that.
Yes,
or a friend you
yes.
know.
Because
Yes. And I'm like,
your devices
yes,
were close to each other.
Yeah.
Sometimes your
yes,
devices were close to each other. Your devices picked up each other's devices, picked up that one is on Facebook, you are on Facebook, you guys are actually having a conversation or are in close proximity to each other, and Facebook and everything will tell you these people you might know, so the
Yeah.
devices
yes.
are always listening.
Or
Or friends
suggested
suggested that
friends.
device.
Right. And you'll be
Oh,
like, huh? I just spoke to this
yeah.
person.
That's true.
Right.
It's
So
true.
you're so correct, Dr.
It's
Cherry,
true.
when you say your device is alive and you have to be extremely careful. Yes.
Guys, there's a serious thing happening in the world as we speak. AI is no longer a sci-fi thing. AI is an actual reality. AI,
Mm-hmm.
they are making the technology more alive, more human-like, with more emotions and feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're saying it's programmed to assist us humans, right? But as the technology is evolving to learn you, if you get a device right now, you buy an Amazon device. When you speak to it for the first four couple times, it has issues understanding you. But
Yep.
as you speak to it more, it now learns your tone, your language, your voice, your speech,
Yes.
your
Yes.
pronunciation in an effort to better assist you.
Mm-hmm.
It is coming alive. It is becoming you to assist you. So those dangers are serious. They are real. We need
Indeed.
to pay attention to them. If you're not using a device, turn it off. Some people don't know
Def-
the last time they turned off their phone unless the battery die on them.
That is
Take a
true.
break.
I don't know when
Take
last
a
I
break
tell
from it. Turn it off. Put it
You,
away.
yes. But you will find that there are times, yes, I will put the phone down, but there are some people who cannot even let their phone charge. That it's on the charge and they have it going on and on. It's like I just cannot do without my device. And this is so very dangerous to both your health and also to your sanity, because imagine you cannot put the phone down for 2 minutes to go for a sulfur bath, to go to the beach. Anytime I'm going anywhere with my children, I will tell them the phone, the devices stay home. Well, I will go with my phone for in case of an emergency, but the devices stay home. Don't tell me you're going to the beach with me and you have your device with you. Do to do what? So there are times that you need to put these devices down. Yeah.
Listen, the lack of the problem with not putting the device away is why so many people find themselves sending pocket messages to their managers, their bosses, to people that they're not supposed to send to.
Ro-
Sometimes you don't even know
Accidental
your device
status.
your device on and you put somebody deliberately not hanging up. They realize you call them by accident. Like you pack up it
Yes,
up. You can put a whole conversation.
it's true.
Yeah, but it's
Or you
no budget. So Bojemet, you mean to tell me Bojemet have a side man there and she playing. They know your business because your phone don't talk the
yes,
whole time.
yes. You go on
It's
your phone, you
curious.
get a whole voice message. You get a
Yes,
long voice message, and you'll be
yes.
like, "What?" Yes.
These things happen because I mean that's where they are. We make our phones so sensitive when we before we touch it, it doesn't give us all what we wanted to touch, right?
Yes.
If you touch your phone screen, then I want the button to work immediately for you. Tapping it so hard, like why are you doing that? So we turn on the sensitivity and we turn on stuff, and these things have a way of coming back and bite you again. Too much of anything is a problem.
Not good. Yeah, so I know we're going way over time. I know that, but it has been such an
Yeah, yeah.
interesting,
I
intriguing
have to say.
program that Dr. Cherry, I would love for you to come back on, even in person, to this to give some more information out there because as much as it had been fun and we were laughing and all, but it is very serious. This is a very serious situation going on, and as much information we can give out there to assist young people, to assist parents, all the better. So again, I thank you so very much for accepting my invitation, for being here, and for disseminating so much information. Thank you so much. And I'm again an open invitation to you to join me as
Anytime.
soon as possible again.
I will thank you. I mean, I have to come and shake that man's hands. I have to come and sit down next to that man and be, you know what I mean? So after I love Soufriere, now I have to go and meet the first high school sweetheart. When I'm obliged to ça, papite. So now I have to come.
Most
Maybe the next,
definitely.
maybe maybe the next topic we can have is how ex lovers of can all how we can all get along. You know?
That would be a very interesting topic. I'm sure this time I'll get calls.
Yeah, man, no, that, but the pleasure is all mine. In all seriousness, the pleasure is all mine. In anytime you guys need me, whether it be in person or here, if it's a topic that falls within my profession or something I can speak to, it'll be my pleasure. We need to do more things like this. We don't have enough of these programs on our television. Too many of the stations now are somewhat politically motivated, and the
Yep.
stuff that is put out there is not this type of information. I really love programs like this. That's why I love the program Zachary Hippolyte has, Police Insight, where
Inside.
it's more. We need more of these programs. Nowadays, every talk show we see is politicians going at each other, and we're not
Mhm.
really educating our people with either the
So true.
laws, the behavior, crime and violence, job opportunities, how to create resumes, how to parent, how to breastfeed. We're not doing those things. So it'll be my pleasure anytime you guys need me.
Thank you again.
All right,
You do
cheers.
have a blessed day. Thank you.
And bro, I just want people to know I said good morning. I did my duty. Pleasure.
Listen,
Yes,
look,
sir.
listen,
Okay.
Yes,
all
man.
right. Of course, folks,
Yes,
that
sir.
right there was it